Good morning, children. Hope you all are doing good. Today we will continue with the same lesson, that is chapter 5, the fractions, but with a new topic, and that is equivalent fraction. The word equi means equal, valent means value. Okay, so in this chapter we will learn what are equivalent fractions, how we make equivalent fractions, and how do we find out whether the fractions are equivalent or not. So we straight away start. Now children, look here, I have made some rectangles. There are 5 rectangles made and each have been divided. 5 rectangles which are almost equal. They are equal and they have been divided, but each of this rectangle has been divided into different parts. Rectangles are of the same size, they have been divided, but number of parts in each is different. Okay, now we will see, and besides that, in this some parts are shaded and some parts are unshaded. So now we will look what is the fraction of the shaded part in each of this rectangle. We will find out the fraction for the shaded part in each of this rectangle. Now see here, there are 2 parts and out of which one is shaded. So how we will write the fraction? Total number of parts always come below this division bar or the fraction bar, and number of shaded part comes over here. See for this, how many parts are there? 4, out of which how many are shaded? 2. This side, how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many are shaded? 3. In this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total parts are 8. Out of which 1, 2, 3 and 4 are shaded. Are you all getting it? Now see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total parts are 10. Out of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are. This is the. So these are the fraction. This is 1 upon 2, 2 upon 4, 3 upon 6, 4 upon 8 and 5 upon 6 are the fraction for the shaded part in each of this rectangle. Is it clear? This much is clear to everyone. Now if you observe them, these shaded parts are actually only in the half part of the rectangle. These shaded parts are from the half part of the rectangles. All the fractions are from the half part of that rectangle, and such, so this numbers, these fractions, they are the part of this only. They are the part of this rectangle and only out of the half part. So this 1 upon 2, 2 upon 4, 3 upon 6, 4 upon 8 and 5 upon 10. They are the part of only half of this rectangle. Such fractions which show the same value, or the fractions which show the same part of a whole, they are called as equivalent fractions. Clear? The fractions which show the same part of a whole, they are from this part only. Same part of a whole, they are called as equivalent fractions. No, just I'll read it from the book. Equivalent fractions are the fractions which represents the same value. They represent the same part of a whole. Or in the other words, you can say the 2 or more fractions that show the same part of the whole are called equivalent fractions. Hope this much is clear to everyone. So we can say that 1 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 4 is equal to 3 upon 6 is equals to 4 upon 8 is equals to 5 upon 10, and they are called as equivalent fractions. They represent the same part of a whole. This is 1 whole 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear? Okay. Now, how to represent an equivalent fraction? How you make the equivalent fraction? This we will learn. How to make an equivalent fraction, or how to get an equivalent fraction. To get an equivalent fraction of a given fraction, multiply the numerator and the denominator of the fraction by the same number except 0. Why we are saying except 0? You know that whenever we multiply any number with 0, the answer is always 0. So in this, to find out or to get the equivalent fractions, we will multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. In some cases, when the digits are much higher, we have to find out the equivalent fraction, then we can divide also. But it should be by the same number. Both the definitions are given, I am repeating. To get an equivalent fraction of the given fraction, multiply the numerator and the denominator of the fraction by the same number except 0. To get an equivalent fraction of a given fraction, divide the numerator. This is only in the case when the numbers are larger. Numerator and denominator by the fraction of the fraction by the same number except 0. I'll show how you will do it. I'll take one example. Suppose I take example 5 upon 7. You have to find out the equivalent fraction of this fraction. So what you do, you divide this 5, this is your sum, example. You divide this, you will normally start multiplying it by 2. We will find out the fraction by multiplying it. Okay, so we normally start with 2. Both them, this is denominator, this is also with same number, and then 5 2s are 10, 7 2s are 14. This is your first equivalent fraction of this. Now another one, 5 upon 7, this is numerator, denominator, multiply by the same number. Remember children, in equivalent fraction you have to multiply with the same number, the numerator and the denominator with the same number, and then it comes out to be 5 3s are 15 and 7 3s are 21. Another, if one more we have to find out, so next we will multiply by 4. It is 5 4s are 20, 7 4s are 28. This way you can go on finding out the equivalent fractions. So what are the equivalent fractions of 5 upon 7? They are, the equivalent fractions of 5 upon 7 are 10 upon 14, 15 upon 21, 20 upon 28. Have a look. So now I take another example. Suppose I take 7 upon 11. We will multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. So we will start from here, 7 into 2 upon 11 into 2. So it becomes 7 2s are 14, 11 2s are 22. Next, equivalent fraction, same number, 7 3s are 21, 11 3s are 33. Another 7 upon next 4. Children must only remember that you have to multiply by the same numbers. 7 4s are 28 and 11 4s are 44. So what are the equivalent fractions of this? Equivalent fraction of 7 upon 11 will be 14 upon 22, 21 upon 33, 28 upon 44, and so on. You can also check, say the table of 5 here. 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are 10, 15, 20, 7 2s are 14, 7 3s are 21, 7 4s are 28. Similarly here, 7 2s are 14, 7 3s are 21, 7 4s are 28. Like this also you can check. Okay. Now next thing which we move on to, okay, the one example it's given in the book, same example I have solved over here, you can check it. Then there is one example, example number 6. It is also based on this equivalent fraction only in the book. See, it is given, find the equivalent fraction of 3 upon 5 having denominator 3 upon 5 having denominator 20, and you have to find out the numerator. Children, these type of sums are very important. How you will do it? See here. This is, you have to find the equivalent fraction of this fraction. So what you do, you will see that where does this 20 lies in the table of 5. 5 की टेबल में 20 कहाँ आता है? It is 5 4s are 20. You know that? So I'll just take it another step over here. 3 upon 5 is equals to this upon 20. So we are multiplying with 4. And you know that when we have to find out the equivalent fraction, we multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. There we have got 4. So that means we have to multiply this by 4 also. Isn't it or not? When the denominator is 4, that means the numerator has to be 4. Sorry, not the numerator. The numerator has to be multiplied by 4. So 3 4s are 12 is your answer. Hope this is clear. Now we will find out checking for equivalent fractions. Checking for equivalent fraction means you have to check whether the given fractions or the fractions we are talking about are equivalent or not. Okay, now we'll see that. Checking for equivalent fractions. For this, multiply the numerator of the first fraction with the denominator of the second fraction, and then the denominator of the first fraction with the numerator of the second fraction. These products are called cross products. Then there's one example given. Both the cross products are same. Now check the same rule for some more equivalent fractions. The important line is two fractions are equivalent if their cross products are same. Now I'll show you how what they want to say is that to find out, I'll take the same example they have given, 2 upon 5 and 4 upon 10. Children, they have given these two fractions and they have asked to find out whether both the fractions are equivalent or not. For this, what we do, we write down this again and we cross multiply this. Cross multiply means you will multiply the denominator of this with the numerator of this, denominator of the first one with the numerator of the second one. Could you get it? This is called cross multiplication. In the cross, you are multiplying in the cross. Denominator of the second one with the numerator of the first one, denominator of the first one with the numerator of the second one. Okay, and then you multiply and find out the answer. So it will be 2 into 10 is equals to 20, and it will be 5 into 4 is equals to 20. Both the answers are same. Look here. Both the answers are same. That means they are equivalent. The fractions. Why? Because the cross products are same. These are called as cross products. What are they called as? Cross products. Okay? If the cross products are same, the fractions are equivalent. Clear? Okay, now I take another example. Suppose I take 3 upon 9 and 8 upon 12. I'll take this example. Now you have to find out whether they are equivalent or not. So what you will do, you will copy down it again. 3 upon 9, 8 upon 12. The next step, you will cross multiply them, denominator with the numerator of this numerator with the this denominator with the numerator of this. Multiply 3 into 12, 12 3s is 36 and 9 into 8 is 72. 9 8s are 72, 12 3s are 36. These are called as your cross products. Are they same? No. Since the cross products are not same here, they are not equivalent. So what you will write the final answer? Since the cross products are not same, they are not equivalent. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now we move on to the next topic of this, and that is simplifying fractions to the lowest term. Simplifying fractions to the lowest term. Simplifying the fractions to the lowest term, children, this means that you have to reduce the fraction to its lowest term. Lowest term means that no other number can divide both the numerator and denominator. No single number can divide the numerator and the denominator except 1, because you know all the number comes in the table of 1. Every number can be divided by 1, but the answer will be same. So except 1, no other number can divide the numerator and denominator at the same time. Then it will be called as the lowest term or the reduced term or the simplification. There are two methods by which we may be doing, but I will be telling you the simplest one. But in case of that, what you do, whatever the numerator and denominator is given, you have to find out the factors for it and you divide them. Or you find out the HCF for them and you divide both of them. But I'll tell you the simple method of doing that. Now see this, I'll take the example. Suppose it is given 12 upon 30. I'll show it a little here. 12 upon 30. And the question is, you have to reduce it to the lowest term. Question is, you have to reduce it to the lowest term. So what you have to do, you have to find out the factors of this. Either you find out the factors of this, that factor which can divide both of them together. Single factor will divide both of them together. Okay, you will find out except 1, you will not take 1. Or you take out the HCF. HCF of this numerator and the denominator, and you will divide it by that and you will find its lowest term. The other simplest way by which you can do is, you know that both are even numbers. That means both come in table of 2. That means both of them can be divided by 2. So we will do that only. I'll write it again. Divided by 2 divided by 2. Now we will keep dividing till we get a fraction which cannot be further divided by a single number. हम इसको तब तक डिवाइड करते जाएंगे जब तक न्यूमरेटर एंड डिनोमिनेटर एक सिंगल नंबर से कटना बंद नहीं हो जाता, एक्सेप्ट 1. Okay, I'll show. Now see here. Now 2 6s are 12. 2 15s are 30. That means if you divide this 30 by 2, you will get 15. If you divide by this 12 by 2, you will get 6. 6 upon 50 is the fraction you got after dividing this. But still you can say it can be divided. There is one factor there which can divide both of them. And what is that? It comes in table of 3. If we try finding out like this, or I write below over here. This I have brought over here 6 upon 15. If I divide by 3 and this also be divided, you know that in equivalent fractions, if we multiply or divide, it has to be with the same number. So, if we divide 6 by 3, we get 2. 2 3s are 6 and 3 5s are 50. Now there is no factor or number which can divide this, the numerator, and no single factor or no single number which can divide this 2, except 1 which we don't take. So this is the reduced term of your 12 upon 30. I hope this is clear. I'll give another example also, then it will be clear. Otherwise what you can do, the another method is that you find out HCF for that. So it becomes a bit longer. So instead of doing that, and that whatever HCF you get, please you can divide this both of them by the same HCF. But it becomes a long process, so instead of doing that, we are doing this. Okay, I'll take another example. Okay, I take, so the same I'll take 45 upon 60. Now, this is an odd number, this is an even number. That means it cannot be divided by 2. So let's try, and we know that this is 5 and this is 1. You have studied the divisibility, you have studied how you find out by which you can divide, by which number you can divide. So it is 5 and it is 0, that means it can be divided by 5. So let's try with 5 only. I'll write it again. 45 upon 60 divided by 5. That you know that you have to divide it by the same number. So it will be 45 comes in the table of 5 at 9 times. 5 and 60 comes in table of 5 is 5, it is 15 times. Not 15 times, 12 times. Okay, now this is 9, this is 12. You very well know there's both the numbers come in table of 3. If you find out the factors for them, both the numbers will have factor 3 common factors. If we divide by 3, you will get 3 3s are 9 and 3 4s are 12. This is odd, this is even. Both this is this is odd and this. Even if beta one number is a prime number, that means, and one is composite, then immediately as soon as there is a prime number, understand it that it is the reduced term. Now you cannot divide by any number except 1. 1 we will not be taking. So, and this is the prime number. As soon as you reach to the prime number, any of them, that means it is the reduced term. So have a look at it. This will be your answer. This is the reduced term. So children, hope this much is clear to everyone. So we stop over here. That's all for today. Please do read from the book, and I'll be posting one YouTube video related to this equivalent fractions. Go through it. So have a nice day and take care. Stay safe.